Hi there, this is Greg the Masked Gamer, and I am coming to you with part 2 of the, what is it called? NeXt Evolution Marvel Champions campaign. In case you're new to my channel, I am Greg, and I am COVID cautious, meaning that whenever I do things with others, I still wear a high-quality N95 mask. However, I am filming by myself today, so I do not have to wear said mask, but I do like to have it at the beginning of every video, just for visibility's sake. I do think it's important. I am going to also remove my glasses today because I'm noticing there is a glare on them, and hopefully I will still be able to read everything. If not, I will put it back on and we will see that. So if you have not watched the first scenario in this edition, you will have missed my ground rules, which is my house rules for campaigns for this game, which I love, is I don't stick with using the same character throughout every scenario. This way I get to play with more of the characters, and I'm very new to this whole cycle, so I'm using the pre-con decks. So for the first scenario, I used Cable and Domino, and for this one, I will be using I'm going to call him Archangel and Psylocke. And handy-dandily enough, it almost looks like in the comic book scenario guide that Cable has handed over the reins to Archangel flying above the surface, and we're just going to go with that. Anyway, so we're going to read this little thing here. I guess the cowards have had enough. No, this withdrawal is strategic. X-Force, tail the Marauders. Minutes later, Archangel says, I have eyes on them. And then the other baddies say, you have the girl. Yes, Senator, good, hand her over. Not so fast, help us take out X-Force, then she's yours. And Angel says, they're in the construction site, hope they have hope. I hope they have, and they have hope, Hope Summers. Proceed with caution, team, let's nail these punks. So in this scenario, you turned back the Marauders' attack and saved many Morlock lives, but in their retreat, the Marauders have captured Hope Summers. Oh no, you get the feeling that she was the real reason for the attack. Of course. You pursue the Marauders to an abandoned construction site on the surface where you crash their attempt to hand Hope over to the Nasty Boys, known henchmen of the mutant mastermind Mr. Sinister. The Marauder holding Hope captive tries to escape, while the combined forces of the Nasty Boys and the other Marauders cover their retreat. So we have the on-the-run scenario deck, and we have a random villain, which we picked Riptide. We have the military-grade Mutant Slayers, Nasty Boys, and standard encounter sets. We have saved 2 Morlocks, so I got to pick 2 cards to keep in my hand for each one card for each hero. And the cards that I kept were the Techno-Organic Wings for Angel, and the Float Like a Butterfly upgrade for Psylocke. So I picked cards that I will be able to use permanently throughout the scenario to get my engine running was the idea. We also have the campaign environment that we earned in the previous thing, which is practiced maneuvers. And I'm going to switch the view here because this is better for you. Practiced maneuvers, and that lets me reduce the cost of each event with a printed cost of 3 or more by 1. And I know Archangel has a bunch of those, so that's probably going to be pretty helpful. I chose one side scheme to try to complete for this mission, and for that one I chose Mission Prep. This scheme does not count against the player side scheme limit. When defeated, flip this and put Mission Prepped into play. This is going to have 4. I did a bad job of setting up because I suck at life. I suck at life. I suck at life. I did not even get out health dials. I suck at life. I suck at life. Yes, I do. So Psylocke has 10 health. And Angel has 12 health. I like the Angel's kind of tanky. I love Angel. I love Archangel. Let's be clear. Archangel is one of my favorites from the X Factor comics back in the 80s and 90s. Was it the 90s? Was it the 80s? I don't really know, but sure. Our baddie has 9 health per hero, which is 18. Okay. That's better. And Mission Prep is going to have 4 threat per hero on it, which is a total of 8. Great. All right. Then I put that side scheme into play. I marked it as chosen in my campaign log off screen, and I've taken each encounter card that corresponds to a side scheme that was marked as chosen and shuffled them into the encounter deck. Now, I don't think I was supposed to do that the first encounter, and I didn't, so I made it a little bit easier on myself. Oh well. It is what it is. It's my house. It's my rules. It's my house. It's my rules. It's my... Okay. I'm sorry for that. That was inappropriate. Okay. So what do we have here? So next we are oh no. Get you in camera. Get you in camera. Get you in camera right here. And I think the camera is a little crooked, which means that you are going to see me looking sideways. Okay, there we go. That's much better. All right. So, gotta get away. Main scheme 1A. We're going to put one random Marauder villain into play, which we did. It was Riptide. We removed the same minion with the same title as the villain, along with the other villains. We attached the Hope's Capture attachment to the villain, confidence side up. The main scheme, gotta get away. That's not a real song. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, each Marauder minion gains steady. What the fudge is steady? What the fudge pickle does steady mean? I don't remember these words. It can have one additional stunned card and one additional confused card before it counts. Well, that's going to suck for Psylocke because her whole world is about things being confused. All right. When revealed, each player searches the encounter deck for a Marauder minion and puts it into play engaged with them. Well, this is going to start off terribly. All right, let's find a Marauder minion. That's a nasty boy. This is a Marauder Brute. Oh, they're the ones that aren't the boss. I am going to put this... Did I give her a thing? I feel like she had a thing that lets her ignore guard, but I don't think I have it in the deck. So maybe that. That's one Marauder. Then there's Lady Mastermind, who's the bad one. Oh, this would cause me to take damage when it first appears, has a lot of nasty boost stuff and surge. So I'm going to... That's just put into play. So that's going to be one of the ones because I get to ignore that surge effect, which is nice. Oh, they all have guard. All of those have guard. Was I supposed to remove the ones that I beat up before? Remove each villain card. Minion cards. Okay, nope. These minions stay in the deck regardless. Let's get rid of the one. I did a bad job with setting this up for being ready for all this nonsense. Oh, Scrambler also has Surge. So let's just take, we're going to just take the two from the thing. I'm not going to reshuffle that because that's a waste of time and I wasn't paying attention to things. So we have Scrambler, who has one scheme and one attack, and when revealed, you would have to discard an upgrade you control. And Lady Mastermind, who when revealed, you would take damage where X is the highest event cost of something in your hand. But neither of those actually count in this case because of what the word said. So we're going to move this down here, and we are going to have them engaged there. We're going to show Angel's health, and we're going to show Betsy's health, and this stuff might all move as we go. If you can even see their health bars, who knows? Okay. Oh, if this stage is completed, the players lose the game. Oh, well, that's pretty bad. This starts with 2 threat on it, and there will be 1 threat gained each round. This is the tough card that Riptide started with. Riptide, whenever it attacks you or a ally you control, you would either place 2 threat on the main scheme and 1 threat on each side scheme, which is pretty terrible, or he'll get +2 for the attack. Hope's Captor is permanent. When the villain would attack you, if a Marauder is engaged with you, the villain will scheme instead. So we have to kill these Marauders to stop that scheming from happening. And when the villain would be defeated, reset the villain's hit points and flip this card to reveal it. So that's a bunch of terrible stuff because there's always a bunch of terrible stuff going on here in these games. Okay, so first player is going to be Angel because Angel's hot. I mean, they're both hot, but Angel's a boy, and I like boys. Okay, so let's see what we have here. We have a bunch of cards in my hand, and I'm not going to talk about every card in my hand. I'm just going to talk about what I do, when I do it, how I do it, how all these things happen to play out. I am going to want to deal 3 damage to Scrambler this turn. Is going to be important. Well, that's interesting. That's also interesting. Ooh, I like that. Yeah. Okie dokie. So we're going to change into Angel. Whenever we play an aerial event, we will draw 1 card, limit once per phase. Okay. We are going to use 1, 2, 2. Yeah, that. And I'm just trying to figure out what I want to use to play a card first. Yeah. So we're going to discard Elixir, Natural Flight, and Soaring Acrobats in order to play the very important Techno Organic Wings card. And this lets me exhaust it. And if I'm Angel, I can ready myself. And if I'm Archangel, I can reduce the cost of the next aerial event I play from this phase by 2. So either way, that's going to turn out to be useful for me. So when I play an aerial event, I can draw 1 card, limit once per phase. And I am... I probably did not plan this out as well as I thought I was planning this out, but it is what it is. I'm going to discard Metamorphosis to play Taunt. The villain will attack me. Other characters cannot defend against this attack, and then I draw 3 cards. So the villain attacks me, but I have a Marauder engaged with me, so it will scheme instead. So that's a scheme of 1 plus 1 is 2, adding 2 threat to the main scheme, and as a boost effect, I must exhaust. Ooh, why is that? As a boost effect, there we go. I must exhaust a character I control, which is going to be Angel. So that actually worked out not so bad because since I get to draw 3 cards because of Taunt, so I get 3 more cards in my hand, which hopefully will be useful. Yeah, sure, it's useful. Sure, why not? That's only once per round. So I can't change form again because I got rid of the metamorphosis, but I can exhaust this to re-ready Angel. And then I can spend both Avian Anatomy and Psylocke, because I can't summon Psylocke since she's already in play. And everything costs me 1 less because of that. To play Razor Dive, deal 6 damage to an enemy. If you're Archangel, this attack gains Overkill and Piercing. And because it has Piercing, that means I can pierce right through. Oh, it's only if it's no. It's if it's a. So he's actually going to ignore Scrambler and use the Razor Dive to use Piercing, which cuts right through the defense of this and reduces this by 6. I was not Archangel, which sucks, but because I used Avian Anatomy, I can return that Razor Dive to my hand. These go away, and unfortunately, I do not really have much else I can do because I don't have enough cards in my hand. But I am in this form, and I am going to just give up on Scrambler, and instead I'm going to do 2 thwart to the mission prep to try to get some progress on that side scheme. And Angel's left with 2 cards in his hand. Not the best of first turns, but we're going to just go on with this. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Okie dokie. So, Betsy Braddock. She can exhaust 1 Psi energy upgrade to shuffle 1 psionic card from her discard pile into her deck. And she has a very nice one in there. But I can also use that to generate more resources, which I think is going to probably be the more smarter thing to be doing in this turn, is what I think. So we're going to... Everybody's stalwart, so screw this confusion. So we're going to discard Concussive Blow to play Telepathy. And I can exhaust that and spend 2 science resources at any time to remove 2 threat from a scheme. And I always have 2 science resources potentially because of Psi Knife. So that's the first thing that we're going to do. The second thing that we are going to do is we're going to exhaust this and flip it, and exhaust this and flip it to generate 2 science resources. And we are also going to spend this one and this one to summon Captain Britain. Oh, there, I'm Captain Britain. I take -1 consequential damage after I thwart a side scheme or attack a minion. Isn't that wonderful? I am going to attack a minion, which is going to be Lady Mastermind, and deal 3 damage to her, thus defeating her. Because I am Captain Britain, that's what I do. I don't even know what I'm saying, y'all. All right, I'm going to flip to Psylocke. When I use one of her basic powers, I can flip. When I use one of her basic powers, I can flip one of these cards. They both give me +1 attack and piercing to her attack. So she's got 1 attack, +2 attack is 3 attack. And I'm going to use that to kill Scrambler. And I can flip one of those cards. I don't know what that's going to do for me, but something. Yeah, okie dokie. I do not have 2 of these to remove the 2 threat. That's it for her. Not the best first turn for both of them. I don't really know what I'm doing with these characters yet, so that's how it's going to go. All right, so first, Angel, is he going to keep any cards? He's going to keep any cards. I mean, he got that really nice attack card, which he should keep in case there is. You know, he's actually going to keep both of these, which seems a little weird because I always tell people, you know, don't keep cards. Don't keep cards in Marvel Champions, and yet that is what I am doing. And then Psylocke is going to get rid of this and draw 1, 2. Oh, her hand size is only 4. Well, we'll see what happens with all that. And we're going to ready all this. And that is the end of the hero phase. So on the villain phase, first thing that happens, we're going to add 2 more threat to Gotta Get Away, which is terrible. But we got rid of all that scheme, which is good. Riptide is going to attack Angel with +2 because we don't want to add threat to these schemes. That's going to be a total of 3. And I just want to see if I have anything protectory in here, and I don't, but I am still going to defend because I do have this to ready myself. So we have a base of 3, +2 is 5, -2 is 3, and that is 3 damage to our friend Angel, bringing him down to 9. Then the villain is going to attack Psylocke. Does Psylocke have anything useful in her hand of 4? Of course not. She is going to defend, however, because she doesn't have much health, which means she can flip this back to its Psy-Knife side for the next turn. And we have 3 plus 2 is 5, minus 2 is 3, bringing her down to 7 health. And then we get to see what fresh nightmares the villain deck is going to bring our way. First, poor Angel has gotten Hidden in the Clutter. We're going to attach this card to the enemy with the fewest remaining hit points, which in this case is unfortunately the boss. When any amount of damage would be dealt to the attached enemy, place it here instead. If there's 3 damage here, the attached enemy attacks the player who dealt the damage and then discards this card. That's terrible. Okay, let's see what happens to Betsy Braddock. Betsy Braddock has Bound by Business, a treachery card. When revealed, oh, this is also terrible. Discard cards from the encounter deck until a Marauder minion that does not share a title with a card in play is discarded. Put that into play engaged with you. So we are going to discard until we reveal a Marauder. That's a nasty boy. That's an obligation. That's a tech. That's an obligation. Ah, there we go. Marauder, patrol. I believe that means I can't thwart without killing it first. Yep. I can't thwart without killing it first, and I was all ready to do some thwarting on the next turn, and that is terrible, and that is terrible, and good luck to us. I feel as though Riptide may get away. Oh, how terrible. And the cards I have are just like not great. Not great at all for what's going on here. Okay, so first we're going to have Captain Britain attack Chimera, doing 3 damage. So I only need to do 2 more to kill them. We are going to, yeah, I'm going to have to do it like that, I fear. There's nothing great in my hand anyway. I'm going to spend 2, oh, right. I'm going to spend, ooh, we don't like that. I'm going to spend 2 cards to play Flurry of Blades because events cost 1 less due to my preparation. I deal 2 damage to an enemy, which is Chimera. So she's done. And then for each Psy-Knife I control, I have 2. I can choose an enemy and confuse it. So I can put 2 confusion cards on the boss, actually confusing the boss despite it being steady. And I believe the steady is for both. Yep. So I've actually successfully confused the boss with Fury of Blades, which would be great if I kept the card that let me do extra damage with confusion, but I didn't. But I can exhaust this and spend 2 of these to remove 2 threat from a scheme. I'm going to remove that from the main scheme because things, well, no, we're going to remove that from the side scheme because the boss is currently confused. Now, when the boss is double confused, when after a character's activation is replaced by a status effect card, okay, so it's going to lose both confusions. So I do have to confuse twice like I did in order to do that in the future. But it worked out. Okay. Oh, Angel, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Do I have any aerial cards? Yes, I do. That's an aerial card. Perfect. Okay. I'm going to use the Power of Flight to double the number of resources this generates while paying for an aerial card to play Ever Vigilant, which lets me ready my hero and remove 2 threat from the main scheme. And whenever I play an aerial effect once per round, I get to draw a card. So I get to draw a card. Boom. Okay. And we are going to use once we're going to change form into Archangel. I love this. Ready? Archangel! He doesn't thwart for crap, but he is strong. Now this gives me an acceleration token, meaning whenever I am in Archangel form, we're going to add an extra threat to the scheme each turn, which is kind of poopy. But anyway, he has Angel of Death. After you play an aerial event, deal damage to an enemy equal to the event's printed cost once per phase. Now here's where things get fun. Archangel can exhaust this to reduce the cost of the next aerial card played by 2. I'm going to play Razor Dive, which is reduced by 1 for practice maneuvers, by 2 by techno-organic wings, meaning it is furry. And because I'm Archangel, it gains overkill and piercing, which I cheated last time. I was Angel. I shouldn't have used it. So we're going to give him back 6 health because that would have just done toughness, and then remove the 6 health, bringing it back down to 12. I think that's all fair in love and warness stuff. Okay, that goes there. Now, I played an aerial event, so I get to deal 3 damage to the enemy because that was the printed cost, bringing the boss down to, nope, not true. Not true. So the first 6 would have done damage to this. Right. Would have done damage to this, which would have made the boss attack Angel. I'm just thinking. Yeah, which meant the boss would have attacked Angel, who would have defended. It would have done a base of 3, plus 2 is 5, minus 3 is 2. So that kind of sucked. Then I would have actually done 3 damage to the boss, meaning the boss has 15 health. So Angel's been doing tons of damage, but not doing any damage because Greg can't pay attention to the rules and he sucks. Oh, well. And I just used... Oh, no. Oh, Angel, you were a bad boy. We're going to use Metamorphosis to change form. And that form is going to be back into Angel. Yes, back into Angel. Angel's this side. And that means I get to remove 2 threat from a scheme. So I'm going to pop this out of here. And we're almost done with mission prep at this point. And, Angel was exhausted. So that was that. And I've actually at least played all of my cards that turn. So that's good. We are not doing excellent here, for the record. We are just quite simply not. I feel like Psylocke should have potentially gone back into her other form, but we're going to leave it as it is. All right. So Psylocke is going to keep the card she has in her hand again, which I know seems odd, but that's what we're doing. And Angel is going to draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I just want to point out he's drawn one of my favorite younger mutants, we'll call them. I don't like calling them new mutants, who is not getting their own character effect, which is very sad. Maybe sometime in the future we'll come back to the mutants. And we're going to ready everything. And we are going to do the enemy phase. So first, we're not in Archangel form anymore, so we do still add only 2 to the main event. NeXt. Hoo-wee. Okay. So we are going to attack Psylocke. Oh, that would have been useful on another point in time. We're going to defend with Captain Britain and let him die. So it's a base of 3, plus 2 is 5. Goodbye, Captain Britain. Boom. Oh, shoot. I'm sorry. She flew all the way out of the view. Her cards are here, though. They're here. They're all still there. Okay. There we go. Now, going to attack. Ooh. Now, going to attack. Angel. For a lot. For 3 plus something. We don't have anything great here. So we're gonna defend for 2. And that is going to be 2 plus 3 is 5. So a total of 3 damage to Angel. Now, if we draw some more attacks from this encounter deck, we could be in some deep caca. Let's see what happens. First card, Arclight. Arclight has Retaliate 1 when it attacks you or an ally you control. You confuse a character you control, or it will get +2 for this attack. So we'll just have to kill that. And then we have Pure Force. This is a side scheme. So if Blockbuster was in play, this would gain the Crisis icon. If Chimera was in play, this would gain the, I forget what that's called, Amplification icon. But because it's not, it only gets an Acceleration icon, which is, you know, not the best of icons for us because it makes that scheme go up faster. But it is what it is. We're going to pass our turn to Angel, who probably doesn't have much to do in his life. I don't have one. Oh, I do have one. Okay. This doubles the number of resources this generates while paying for an aerial card, which is going to be Soaring Hearts. I can search my discard pile for an identity-specific event to add to my hand, and then ready both Angel and Psylocke. So let's see here. I have Razor Dive, which is cool. I have Metamorphosis. Ooh, yep, we're going to add Natural Flight to my hand. We're going to ready. It would have worked out better if it was in the opposite direction, but it was still like a ready and a card for like one card. So I feel like it was all what it should be. That was an aerial event. So I get to also draw a card. Yeah, this one's better. Sorry, I'm talking out loud and I'm not really explaining what I'm doing. I love Cannonball and I want to play Cannonball, but I feel like there's other things that are more important to do right now, such as play Natural Flight, remove 4 threat from a scheme. If I'm Angel, I ignore Crisis and the Patrol keyword. We're just going to take that right off of here and get rid of that acceleration token, which suckles. It suckles. I'm going to have these left in my hand. We're going to become Archangel again. I'm ready. Okay, we're going to become Archangel again. Dun, 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 dun. And we're going to exhaust this to reduce the next card in my hand by 2. We're going to play Adaptive Plumage, which is also decreased by 1 by Practical Maneuvers. So it is technically free. I can deal 4 damage to an enemy and stun it. We are going to do 4 damage to the boss so that we can toss a stun icon on there for later. Which doesn't do anything right now. Because of Angel's special ability, I can deal damage to an enemy equal to this printed cost. We're going to deal 3 damage to Arclight because that is not an attack. I don't get retaliated against. And then we are going to use my 2 attack to do a regular attack on Arclight, which will kill it and not retaliate because it died. So we got rid of that. We got rid of that. We got rid of that. Angel did a lot of damage control, and I managed to keep Cannonball in my hand for later. The sad part here is that I am stuck in Archangel form with 4 health, which could be terrible. Will be terrible. Let's just face it. It's gonna be terrible. All right. What do I have? I have Psy Knives. Yeah, I don't want to have Psy Knives. We are going to... We're going to... We're going to thwart for 3 on the main scheme and flip one of these cards. I don't know exactly what that's going to do, but we will see. All right, so I did that. Now, I am going to do something else. I'm going to exhaust this and use this and this resource to remove 2 threat from a scheme, which is going to be mission prep. Because I defeated it, I flip it and put it into play. Mission prepped. Enters play with 1 prep counter on it. As an action, I can remove 1 prep counter from here, and each player can search their deck and discard pile for 1 upgrade with a printed cost of 2 or less and put it into play. So that's going to help Psylocke out a lot for sure. Let me just check if I have. Yes. So we are going to do that now. We're going to remove this prep counter. And I am going to put Float Like a Butterfly into play, which is going to let me do extra damage to a confused enemy while this enemy is confused. Angel gets to look for an upgrade with a printed cost of 2 or less. He might not even have one. Oh, that's a good one. We're going to put Soaring Acrobatics into play, which whenever he uses a basic skill, we can exhaust that and he gets +1 to it. So that's pretty cool. Cool. All right. So I did all that and I have these extra things here. I have this extra help. And now I am going to, when I exhausted this, I chose to flip it for the record. I'm just going to say I did. Okay. So now we are going to use the Power of the Mind, which doubles the number of resources this generates when paying for a psionic card to play Fury of Blades, which only costs 2 because of practiced maneuvers. I get to deal 2 damage to an enemy, so that's going to be 2 damage to the boss. For each Psi Knife I control, I would choose it, an enemy, and confuse it, but it's already confused. And then this is an attack, so I increase the amount of damage the attack deals by 1, so that's actually dealt 3. And then for each Psykatana I control, I can choose an enemy and deal 2 damage to it, so that's going to be 2 more and 2 more. So that was a total of 7, I think, something like that. I feel like it was good. Oh no, that's my basic attacks get piercing, which I didn't get to use there. And then, is there anything else that I can do? I think that's everything that Psylocke can do. But Psylocke is going to be daring and not change into we're not going to change form. Okay. So Angel is going to get to draw up to a hand size of 5. I do not want to get rid of Cannonball. I want to summon Cannonball, and it might cause me death. It might cause me death. Ooh. Okay, that might be helpful. Okay. Oh, that was good. Whew. Angel's going to be fine. Betsy Braddock. She is going to take damage. Yeah, I think she's got to hold on to this too. All right. We're going to ready everything and see if I was smart or dumb. So first, we're going to add 3 threat to the main scheme because Archangel is in play, meaning that things are a little scurrier. The boss is going to first attack Angel. So let me just think about and decide what I'm going to do here. I am Archangel. Oh, this is perfect. Okay. Archangel is going to defend. When an enemy attacks, he's going to use Avian Anatomy to play aerial defense. When he's Archangel, this gives him a tough status card and retaliate 1 for this attack. Also, because I played an aerial event, I deal damage to an enemy that event's printed cost has. So I deal 1 damage to the boss for that, which is pretty cool. And because I spent this, I'm going to turn this card to my hand after resolving its effects. So we do a total of 2, plus it doesn't matter how much damage this is because it got absorbed by tough and did 1 damage to the boss. So the boss hit itself in the face for 2, basically. The one problem is Hairbag gets shuffled back into the deck after being a boost card. So we are going to shuffle that back into the deck. And that, what? Oh, I got +1 to, oh, I'm not going to exhaust that, but I could exhaust that to give +1 to the power. The good news is that if I could somehow ready myself, which I don't think I can. No, yeah, I can. Wait, I didn't even have to defend to do that. I could just stay face up. That wasn't hero attack defense. When an enemy attacks, if you are, what is, I believe because it says defense, I have to use the defense action. I think that's how this works. I think that's how it works, and that's how we're going to play it. And then I'm going to look it up later because I know that there was a lot of confusion over the defense keyword at points in time during Marvel Champions. But I believe I must defend in order to use something that says defense, which means I can't do that exact same thing if I were to get attacked again this round. But luckily, our friend Psylocke also has some plans. She also has some plans. So here we go. We are going to attack her for a total of 3 plus something. She's going to defend. And it's 3 plus 2 is 5. And because I am defending, I can play this psionic redirect using the power of the mind. When you would take any amount of damage, prevent 2 of that damage. So I prevent 2 of that, which leaves me with 1 left. For each Psy Katana you control, you can prevent 2 additional damage. So I have 2 Psy Katanas. So that attack does no damage to me. And Hairbag is going to get... Hairbag was the same card. The same card came up again. Lovely. So we're going to shuffle Hairbag back into the deck. Now, the bad thing here is I had all of this great stuff to prevent all of that from happening. However, I also have no cards left. So I'm going to be in some big TRUBLE, some big TRUBRLE when this thing comes up here. So yeah, we're going to see how that goes. All right. But bum ching. So, oh, we still have our event, our minion cards. Let's see what happens to Angel. Dizzying Deeds, Treachery. Exhaust a character you control. I can't because I'm already exhausted. Oh, let me show you. I forgot to show you the card. If the following enemies are in play, something terrible happens. If it's Riptide, you take 3 indirect damage. Fudge. I have 1 health left. If I had 3 or less, that would have auto-killed me, and that would have been terrible. All right, Psylocke, Bound by Business. Discard cards from the encounter deck until a Marauder is drawn. However, I am going to use Telepathic Suggest. Nope, I can't. I don't have to. Gonna have to discard cards till I reveal a Marauder and engage the Marauder. Oh no, I'm discarding so many cards. Oh no, I'm discarding so many cards. That's gonna lead to so much escalation. Oh no, I'm discarding so many cards. Oh, I'm still discarding cards. Still discarding cards. Oh, bye, Shadows of the Past. Still discarding cards. Still discarding cards. Oh my goodness, I might go through the whole deck here. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Marauder. And it's Blockbuster. Okay. So I went through like 3 turns. Oh my goodness. The acceleration is going to pick up so hard now. But anywho, Psylocke goes first. Psylocke has a whole bunch of poop poops. She's got some poop poops. She's got the poop poops. Oh no, I like literally can't do anything because that's an interrupt. I can't play that card. Oh yeah, I mean, I don't have 2 science to spend because they're both in katana form. So that was Psylocke's turn. Done. Angel. Oh yeah, she's gonna stay in hero form because things are about to get nasty otherwise. Okay. I think it's time to summon Cannonball. That cost everything I had. When Cannonball would take any amount of consequential damage, reduce it by the amount of aerial cards in your hand. And unfortunately, that really just doesn't do much for me right now, which is sad. But I am going to change to Warren Worthington. I get to heal 1 damage from myself as an action. I was already exhausted. He's just in bad shape, and that's just how the cookie crumbles. Cannonball will die if he tries to do anything. What he could do is he could kill the boss, but I think we have some turns left, and we have to take some time to recover. So that's what's going to happen. Yikes. Okay, that's it. That's it. Psylocke needs to keep this card just in case. So she's going to draw 1, 2, 3. Oh, that would have been nice for later. Ooh. That's it for that. And Warren's going to draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and hopefully things don't go terribly. But I think they will. We're going to add 2 threat to the main scheme, bringing it up to 8. It is halfway there. It's living on a prayer. Oh, she gets ready. He gets ready. Okay. So the first thing that's going to happen here is Psylocke is going to get attacked pretty bad. I am not. Ooh. That'll be helpful. I do have something helpful to help her. So, first, she's going to, she's going to defend against this attack of 3 plus 1 is 4. So that would be a total of 2 damage. So she's going to take that 2 damage. And then Blockbuster is going to attack her for 4. And we're going to play Aerial Intervention to exhaust Cannonball, who is aerial, to prevent 3 of that damage, meaning she only takes 1 damage. Okay. Still alive. We're all barely still alive. Now the villain is going to scheme, but can't scheme because of the double confusion. So that's fine. I forget if an activation card gets drawn at that point in time. We'll look it up later. We'll forget to look it up later. Whatever. It's my game. We're going to keep going. Okay. So now we deal 1 encounter card here, 1 encounter card here. That is empty. We add an acceleration token and we reshuffle the villain deck. Now that was the problem with those Marauders getting discarded like that, is this shouldn't have happened for a few more rounds. And now things have accelerated and escalated and accelerated and are not looking good for our intrepid heroes and their pre-constructed decks, which are probably too weak to be doing an encounter like this, especially because I used my prep already. Ooh, at least that preventive maneuvers came in real handy so far. So that's given us some extra leeway. But yeah, Psylocke's gonna have to flip on this next turn. All this scheme's gonna happen. It's gonna be an absolutely terrible day. And we still haven't even revealed these encounter cards yet. So we're gonna see what happens when we reveal these encounter cards. Yes, we are. Okay, shuffled that kind of. First, Psylocke. Assault. She's in hero form. The villain attacks her. She's already defended. Warren's in that form. She has no interrupts. He has no interrupts. This is going to kill her. We're going to have to add 2 threats to the main scheme to keep this at 1 so that she hopefully stays alive. And wait, none of that is true. None of any of this is true. There was a marauder engaged with her, which means that that first attack didn't happen, which means that this didn't happen. That first attack was 2. So it would have been a scheme of 3. So we would have added 3 threat to this main scheme, bringing it to 11. And now, because there's this engaged with her, this would not be an attack. It would also be a scheme of 1 plus 1 and exhaust a character you control. She doesn't control 1. So 2, bringing us up to 13 out of 16 on that scheme. Also terrible, but at least she's not dead. But this could now end the game. Grey Crow. Okay, just a minion that appears. Whew. Okay. So there's a lot of very bad stuff in all of these decks happening. Warren has to heal because he's in really bad shape. What can I do? Tell me what. What can I do? I'm going to change into Archangel form, and I know that sounds weird and terrible based on what's happening here, but I can use this card in Preventive Maneuver to use Adaptive Plumage, dealing 4 damage to the boss and stunning it, which will give it a second stun, meaning that it can't attack the next turn, and it will flip. And I'm just going to really hope that whatever happens here, hope, works out. So he's going to go back to 18 health, and we have to kill him a second time. And we're going to flip the Hope card to Hope's Captor, which I haven't really read yet, but I'm holding it up. Okay. The villain gets plus 12 hit points, so it's at 30. Shite. And it gets plus 1 attack and plus 1 scheme. We advanced the main scheme to 2A, which cannot be stopped, but at least we got rid of, well, we're going to hold that to the side in case it tells us to keep it. And this says, escaping with hope. Having taken a pounding, the Marauders redouble their efforts to escape with their captive. Each player searches the encounter deck and discard pile, oh my god, for a Marauder minion and puts it into play engaged with them. Each Marauder enemy gets a tough card. That's a nasty boy. Okay, so this is going to be those 2 with Surge. Yeah, because it doesn't say reveal, so I got to find Scrambler in here. Okay, so these come into play. Every Marauder gets a tough card. So tough, 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 tough. Holy crap. That's the most tough cards I've ever seen. Yeah, that's what happened there. And then this has 9 per person. Each Marauder gains guard and steady. Oh, that's okay, because that means the boss is no longer steady, which means it didn't need that second stun. Because, yeah. Oh, it wasn't supposed to have steady on the first card either. I misread that. It was supposed to only be the minions, not the boss. Okay, well, I did a lot of things wrong. I did play an event, which means I can deal 3 damage to something of my choice. Let's get rid of that toughness on the one that has guard over there. Whew, wow. Okay. Can't handle that. Man, I don't have an event to play for this either. Well, we're going to spend all 4 of these to put Warpath into play because at least that's something. At least that's something. And he's got toughness. And when I defend against an attack, I can play an event with a hero action ability from my hand playing its cost. So we're going to hold on to him and save him for some defensive stuff. Wow, that's it. That's it for Archangel. This board is also looking a mess, and I'm sorry, but that's what it looks like. Okay, Psylocke. Okay, we're going to exhaust both of these and flip them to play weapons training, which gives her retaliate 1, and after she attacks, we can discard that to ready each weapon she controls. So at least that was kind of free, I guess. I can't do a regular attack right now of any kind. So I'm going to use directed force to lay the trap into play, which if I thwart that down, I can at least do 10 damage to the boss. Oh, we're going to lose. I don't see any way this is going to work out. That's a deck, not a discard pile. That's it. Okay, so Angel's going to draw 1, 2. Oh, Psylocke's got a... Psylocke is going to flip to alter ego mode, which is going to mean there's going to be some scheming, but it's like we have to do it because otherwise stuff is going to go very, very wrong very, very fast. Archangel draws 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. She's not in hero form, so we'll dump that. She's going to draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards, which I haven't even looked at. We're going to ready. Lots of ready here. Okay. Whew. Archangel's in play, and there is an acceleration token. So we add 4 threat to the main scheme, bringing it up to 6 out of 18. Yep, that's what happens. Stun doesn't attack. Now, this schemes for 1. Nope, this attacks for 1. I would either have to discard the highest cost card I control, which is Warpath, or it will get plus X attack, which is fine because Warpath has tough. So it's going to attack, and Warpath is going to defend. And I can use a hero interrupt ability. Yeah, so I can... I don't really know how that scales with this, but I'm not going to play that card because I don't really quite understand how it works. So we're just going to they're gonna remove their toughness and they're toughing it out. Okay, now this one is going to scheme for... None of that happens. What am I saying? Hold on. Oh no, he isn't. Yes, that does happen. Ugh. There's so many like weird circumstances with scheme versus attack versus scheme that it's a bit of a cognitive overload. Lady Mastermind is going to attack. Oh, was I defended? No, I'm stood up. Lady Mastermind is going to attack for 1. And we'll defend with Cannonball. Oh, she's still tough. Okay. All right. And so Cannonball takes 1. Now, Betsy Braddock. So first, the villain schemes for 2 plus 1 is 3, bringing us up to 9 already. Then Blockbuster is going to scheme for 0, which is nice. Scrambler is going to scheme for 1, which is not nice. And then we get a baddie card and a baddie card, and Angels is the villain schemes. Of course. Where is Gambit when you need him? Where is Gambit? Gambit would kick ass. All right, so the villain schemes for 2 plus 3 is 5, bringing us to 15 out of 18 in 1 turn. Jeez Louise. And now this is a side scheme of Bushwhack. It says 1 scheme on it. When defeated, the player who defeated it searches the encounter and discard pile for a marauder and puts it into play engaged with them. Lovely. And we pass first player. Whew. I have no idea how to get out of this mess that I'm in. What I do know is that she needs to heal, so she's going to get 3 health back. All right. What do I have here? It's not what I want. Oh. And the main baddie does not have steady, which I now remember. So we are going to flip. We are going to, where'd you go? Here. She paid with this card. Before she flipped, she switched this to a Psy knife because we're smart. And then we use that to be a attack resource. And we use this to be an energy resource. That's a total of 2 plus 1 from psychic maneuvers. So I paid for concussive blow. I get to confuse an enemy, which will be the boss, and deal 3 damage to it, which just gets rid of its toughness. But that is a thing that I did. Okay. Now, we are going to next play. Oh, man. That wasn't an attack. We're going to play. Yeah, we're going to play these 2 cards to do mental detection to remove 1 threat from the main scheme. For each Psy Katana I control, I draw 1 card. So I draw 2 cards because I have 2 Psy Katanas. Oh, give me something good. Nope. Those were not good. So we're going to play 2 more cards to do the same thing again. We're going to remove 1 threat from the main scheme and draw 2 cards. Now, do I have anything useful? Nope. That's funny. Nothing useful at all. No. I'm going to exhaust this, spend 2 of these to remove 2 more threat from the main scheme, which at least did a little bit of stuff for us. That was it for her. This goes here. Okay, Angel, can you do 30 damage this turn? Probably don't. That's got retaliate. That's got surge. All marauders have guard and steady, so I can't attack the boss without killing both. That'll do something. Yeah, it will. Okay, we reduce the cost of something I control by 2. I reduce it by another 1 for practice maneuvers, and I use Razor Dive, dealing 6 damage to an enemy, which is going to be Lady Mastermind. It gains overkill and piercing, so it goes right through her tough and does 3 damage to the boss because of overkill. All right, that's another tough card out of the way. That goes in my discard pile. I did an aerial event, so I can deal damage to an enemy equal to that printed cost. So I can deal 3 more to the boss because it's not an attack. Cool. Cool. Sorry, just thinking. We're going to do a basic attack of 2 and add 1 to it for this, doing 3 damage to Grey Crow. Then we are going to spend these 2. Yeah, we're going to spend these 2 cards Forever Vigilant to ready our hero and remove 2 threat from the main scheme. Because I'm Ariel. Was I Archangel at the beginning of this turn? I was, so I could change form as well, which is good to know. I'm saving this. It's on the other side here. 1 and 2. We're going to use this to attack this and get rid of this last toughness. Yep, that's our turn. Okay. So Betsy Braddock is going to get rid of that. She's going to draw 4 cards. Hopefully something useful. Oh. I make all these noises and like nothing of them really means anything to you, but it means something to me. So yeah. I need to save this card. 1, 2. Oh, I'm going to have to shuffle, which means we're going to get an extra one of these this turn. And I have to draw 3 more of these. Hold on. Feels like we're running on empty here, but the boss has 24 life left. It ain't over till it's over, as they say, and it's not over just yet. So we still have a shot at this. And if I fail, for the record, we're not going to do a revenge play online. We are going to potentially do one offline. I don't know. We'll see. But either way, the session after this is going to be Deadpool and X-23 against the 3rd scenario, also with their pre-con decks. And that's how it's going to go. So yeah. All right. So we have 1, 2, 3. Oh, and please, if I'm getting those rules wrong, like put it in the comments. Tell me what I did wrong, because I do want to know. It's just I don't want to kill momentum by looking stuff up while we are here playing. And I do. I mean, I look at these things, so I do know that the first video in the series got a few dislikes, but I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if it's because I messed the rules up. I'm not sure if it's just because you all hate masks, and in that case, I don't really care. But if it is something constructive that you dislike that I can do better, please let me know, because I'd love to do better. I'm still new at this. Okay, so we have drawn these cards. Do I have anything responsive? Angel does, so I'm just going to put that there, face up to remind me. I'm going to put these cards face up to remind me because my cognitive load is low. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4 on the main scheme, bringing, oh geez, I think this is going to be over here, bringing us back to 13 again. Wow. Okay. We'll see. So first, Betsy Braddock. When the enemy would attack you, if a marauder is engaged with you, it schemes instead. It can't scheme because of confused. These 2 marauders are going to attack. This one will get a tough card if I don't do anything special. Oh, well, that's going to be that. Angel is going to defend against this one, giving it 4 attack total. and I am going to play aerial agility using taunt because we're not going to use taunt to give myself a tough card to stop that from happening and retaliate for that attack, which is going to do that. Okay. Scrambler is going to attack for 1. Betsy's just going to take it. That's fine. Okay. Now, over here, the villain is going to scheme because there's a Marauder engaged with me. So that's going to be 2 plus 1 is 3, bringing us to 16 out of 18, and we are not dead yet. Gray Crow is going to attack for something. Ooh, that's nasty. Cannonball's going to defend and die. I played him. He didn't get to do anything. It was sad. It is what it is. I think Warpath is more important to keep in play right now. That is what it is. Okay. And then we have 1 card, and Angel's going to have to deal with 2 cards. Let's see the 1 card for Betsy first. It's that terrible one. It's this terrible one. Right now we have Riptide in play, so she has to take 3 direct damage. She has nowhere to put it, so it goes straight to her, but at least she didn't die. Over here we have, oh look, another Marauder. Lovely. Then we have the villain attacks you. It's a good thing I saved that extra attack. It doesn't matter because there's Marauders engaged with me, so it's going to actually scheme instead for 2 plus 2 is 4, and that tips the scales on escaping with hope, and it's over. Whew. Okay, so that was a tough scenario, and I mean, look, I didn't play it the best, and I could have used this anyway. I didn't play it the best. I'm using pre-con decks. I'm out of practice, but this one was tough. Like the minion explosion is something that like needs to be prepared for, and I tried to keep that there, and I thought something good would happen when I flipped it. I don't know why, but I think in order to succeed at this, you would need to keep that villain at that low health point while it's on that first act, and wait until you have a whole lot of attacks planned out that you can flip it and then get rid of all those minions, because the minions being out and those schemes continuing to happen, there was just no way I was going to keep up with that. So yeah, we lost. It's sad. I might try it again. Look, I said I might try it again. That's a lie. I'm not going to try it again. I'm going to move on to scenario 3 because I want to get through this game and I want to see the rest of the stuff on here that I haven't gotten to see yet, because I have too many games. I just have too many games. It just is what it is. And I'll circle back to playing this again someday. I swear. Yes, I will. I swear. So the next Monday, hopefully time permitting, next Monday we will see how X-23 and Deadpool fare against the 3rd scenario. Then I'm going to pick my 2 favorite heroes from the 6 and build actual better decks with those and try to go through scenarios 4 and 5 with those. And what we're going to do, and this is because I house rule, and I house rule, this is how it goes. We are going to pretend that I successfully defeated this, and we're going to keep the mission prepped thing in play, because again, it's my game. I can do what I want to do. And I have Aeon Trespass Odyssey coming this fall, and I just am not going to have time for anything else anymore. But thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Like I said before, if you didn't like it and it's something constructive, tell me why in the comments. If you didn't like it because I'm still talking about COVID, you can just like it all you want. That's fine. Don't leave that in the comment. I'll hide it anyway. But if it's because I got some rules wrong, tell me what rules I got wrong. If it's because you don't like my house rules, sorry. But yeah, most importantly, the most important thing always is do not forget to keep those health bars full. Thank you and have a great night.